Wow, can you believe it? Can you actually believe we're back? Minta Foundry Breakdowns 2025. It's been at least 3 years maybe since I've done one of these, and a lot has happened in the meantime. I've been very lucky to work on some very cool records, and that's only what happened on the work side of my life. Let's not get into the private madness of what it means to be a dad. The reason I want to do this episode is because I'm excited to share the story of a very recent record that came out. A record that came together quite fast and illustrates or shows the processes that I've developed over the years on how to make samples. So let's dive in. My name is Al Hug, and this is Minta Foundry Breakdowns. Okay, before I say anything about this track, as always, let's listen first. Okay, a lot to unpack here. So let me give you some context first. What you just heard is a song that Pale J and I started working on in August of 2024. We're going to get into how this version came to be a bit later on. But what you should know now is that parts of this song were sampled in a record by Big L featuring Mac Miller, featuring Pale J. Now, I'm not trying to get sued, so I can't play you the whole song. Well, actually, I can't play you any of the song right here. But let's take a little risk, and I'll just play you the intro. And then if you want to listen to the whole song, I mean, you're already in the app, so you might as well do that later on.
That's what it is. But as far as being an MC, the first rapper that really got me into wanting to be an MC was a dude by the name of Big L. Big L. Big L.
Yeah, Mac Miller, bitch. Way to go, never running out of gas. 120 on a dash.
So as you can hear, there's a bunch of different sections that were sampled from our original song in this song. And there's even other samples in here, notably the most famous drum break of rap history, but more on that later. First, I want to open the original session, the one where I recorded the pianos, the bass, and the drums, and so on. It was called Counting Our Days. When I sent it over to Pale J, he then renamed it to I'm in Love, matching the lyrics that he wrote. Around 9 out of 10 times, I start a composition on piano, and this one was no different. Even though harmonically there's only 2 sections in this piano part, first being the intro and verse harmonies and then the pre-chorus harmonies, when you listen to the piano part, it sounds like there's more than 2 sections. It's because I usually force myself to find a different way of playing the same thing, if that makes sense. So if I find a cool chord progression that I like, instead of just recording that and be done with it, I'll try to figure out, how does this sound in a different register on the piano? Like, how does it sound if I play it all the way in the highs? Or what if I give it a certain rhythm? It just changes the material and how it feels. And also, there's only so many chord progressions that work for singers, so you better find ways to play the same thing over and over again without getting bored. I remember already hearing how I wanted the bass to sound, but it's always good to turn off the click as soon as possible in a session, so I did the drums first. It sounds pretty repetitive, but let's see if you can spot the chord change just by listening to the drums. Did you hear the change that happened in the drums? And now we're gonna go back to the A section. So before we're gonna listen to the vocals, which is just the heart of the whole thing, I wanna highlight a couple of the other elements. Notice how the bass is very active rhythmically. Notice how the flute is very playful, imitating the high register piano melodies, and how the vibraphone just fills in the rest of the space. And the cello, just cello being a cello, just one of the most beautiful instruments that ever existed, and played beautifully by my guy Ben Trigg. I mean, just listen to this. I think now's a good time to add the vocals. I sent a very rough version of what you just heard to Pale J. It only consisted of piano, bass, drums, and vibraphone. What he sent back just completely blew my mind. Also, you guys should know, he is the most efficient vocalist and producer that you'll ever meet.
From your head down to your little toes, it will be love, all our love, carrying us through, no matter where our journey goes. I'm so in love, so in love.
Like I mentioned earlier, some of the elements, the flute and the cello, for example, were added after I had the vocals, which, I have to say this. The number one thing that I hate most about rap and sample-based music in general, you get to touch the record once. You make the sample, you send it out into this one-way street, and the song gets made, but you never get to touch it again. So when I work on a record, and remember, this one wasn't supposed to be a sample, at least I didn't think of it that way, I try to have a back and forth between me and collaborators, and even between me and myself, moving from one instrument to the other, starting with the piano, adding the bass, going to the drums, changing something in the bass, going back to the piano. This is the best way to imitate a group of people coming together to make the music, which until the 80s was the only way to make music in the first place. Okay, so now Pale J and I have this record. We have this song and it has different sections. But if you listen to the intro of our version and compare it to the intro of the Big L version, there is one big difference in sound. Let's compare the clean version, which is the Ableton version, to the version that was sampled, which is the vinyl version. So clean first. Now vinyl. Oh, the crackle is just perfect on this one. I wish there was a vinyl emulation that sounded like this, but there isn't. The only way to get this very authentic vinyl sound is cut your songs to vinyl and then resample them. That's how we did it. So the question is, how did we get this on the Big L record? And the guy who made this happen is a person named Mike Heron, who hit me up a couple of years ago. And I got to know him as this A&R that's really hands-on in the session with the producers, putting things together. And he sent me the Big L verse and asked if I had any samples that fit that vibe. We went back and forth multiple times. And kind of as a last attempt, I sent him this untitled playlist, which was a collection of all the Pale J collaborations that we had done in 2024 and 2025. And he texted me back and asked me to hear the piano of I'm in Love over the Impeach the President drum break. And if you've listened to any music in the last 20 years, you've heard multiple songs that use the Impeach the President drum break. It's a very, very famous drum break. And this was a perfect fit. We knew we had a song. And from here, it was just about finishing the song. Shout out Mike. Shout out John Ho, who also worked on this song. Shout out my good friend Pale J. He's an extremely successful solo artist and still has time to work on stuff together, which I'm extremely grateful for. Also, a huge thank you to the estate of Big L and the estate of Mac Miller. They didn't have to clear the verses, but they did it for the fans. And as a fan of both of these artists, I'm eternally grateful that I got to work on this. If you like this show, and yes, I'm going to do the whole podcast outro thing, then please subscribe to the show. If this is an app where you can leave a comment or question, please do. Leave a 5-star rating or above, if that's even possible. Best way to support me or the show is just by going on mintafoundry.com, purchasing some packs, plugins, or presets. We have tons of stuff out, and I hope to be back very soon.